This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I don't have permission to share the screen. Yeah. Mm. Can you make me an organizer, Lakshmi Garu? Yeah.
Mari.
Okay. Still, I didn't get access. I'm sharing the screen. So my laptop also, you can say, you can think like it's a brand new laptop. I don't have any installation of any Java or anything. So here, what are uh, the board you want to explain? I'll be using the XC Calidra. This is one of the tool, great tool. So where I will be using for the drawing X Calidra. So the station, whatever I'm going to use the whiteboard, this is the tool I'm using here. So I'll be, so suppose today we are going to learn about the installations. What are the things we are going to install and how to use that, we'll get familiar with that. So one IDE we are going to install, and then we'll be installing the JIT, and we are going to install the JD. So these three things are required for us to continue the session. So IDE, JIT, and the JDK, and we require the one more is a Maven. This is a Maven is another build tool where we'll use it that here. So don't worry, what is this Maven, and in details we'll be discussing ongoing sessions. So first we'll install the JDK. Then we'll get familiar with the JIT. Then we'll install with the IDE. Then we are going to install the Maven. So first, when you're taking here, whenever you're working with the Java, we require the JDK. Okay, these days JDK comes with the, so not these days. So JRE and the JDK is a one part. JDK and the JRE is a one bundle. So whenever you install the JDK, it is going to install the two things. One is the JRE and another one is the JDK. So we know, as we know that JDK is a Java development kit, JRE is the Java runtime environment. So when you are taking here, there is a Java. We will say that as there are multiple flavors: JSE, JEE, JME. Java Standard Edition. This is a place where people will say that core Java. The core Java, you can say that core Java, JDBC. This all comes in J2SE standard editions. Whenever you are developing the standalone applications, we use the JSE. We are going to use it here. And JE is a Java Enterprise Edition, like where you will be using the Enterprise Edition, where it comes the servlet, JSPs, and then Spring. These are all the things we call it as the Enterprise Spring Framework. This all comes under the Enterprise applications. JME is a Java Micro Edition. This is an edition, especially like you might have seen whenever you're installing something in your mobile. So it will say that no, it's a Java enabled application. So Java Micro Edition, especially to develop the mobile applications, we'll be using the JME. But here we are going to cover JSE and the JWE. This is the main focus we are going to give it here. And the JME, we are not going to touch it on. So the JSE, the Java Standard Edition, for our convenience, like to learning purpose, people will say that it's a core Java. And then the advanced concepts, we call it as a JWE, we'll say that. Okay. In order to work with the Java, so as I told that we need to install the JDK. So JDK has got the main component JRE and JDK, and one more is the main component we'll listen here, JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So this is a place where all your Java programs are going to execute. When you take the Java, Java is going to create its own standard. It is going to create its own stand. It won't create it is going to create its own sandbox. In that sandbox, your Java programs are going to run that here. What does it mean? Suppose if you take this is operating system. On top of your operating system, Java is going to be installed, and it will run like a sandbox. All your Java programs are going to run it in this sandbox. It's going to run. So we'll see in detail how this is going to happen and all these things. And here, when you are working with Java, always you will have the confusion which JDK version should I use it, either Java 8 or Java 7. Don't worry, like no, depends on your project. Suppose your project is in JDK 8, you should go with the JDK 8. And if your project is in the JDK 11, so you should be going with the JDK 11. Now, to avoid all these confusions, I'm going with the JDK 19. That's the latest as of today. So in 6 months down the line, you may get the new version, we may get it, and new features will be added. Do I need to worry about the every time Java is released? Do I need to learn again? I have to learn the JDK 19, JDK 20? No. So whenever once you learn the JDK 19 and whenever the 20 version is released, what are the new features has been introduced? Just you will focus on that. You're not going to, the language is not going to change anything. If there is a drastic changes, yes, there will be a approach. We have to learn that the major releases, whatever in my experience I've seen in JDK 5 and JDK 8 was a major releases where they have done the language tuning, and there are a lot of new features has been introduced into the Java. Okay, so all these things we'll learn, and what are the JDK 19 features they added, and in the future what are the new features comes, like JDK 20 releases. I'll be explaining about what are the new features. Fine. So then there is something called the I'm going to speak about the Git. This is a Git is we call it as a version control system. We call it as a version control system. Where you want to manage your source code. Like when you are working in a project, the team will be sitting in across the globe. Some people will be sitting in India, some people will be in the US, and in different countries they will be sitting under different time zones. So when the people are working, for us it's morning, and some other place, they are going to start the work once you are done with your work, and the people are going to start that. So in order to collaborate, in order to maintain the common place, so we use something called the Git, and the Git is a cloud-hosted versions are there. So we have the most widely used one was GitHub. Another one is a Bitbucket. Bitbucket. This is the two platforms, the cloud-hosted platforms. So your organization may be using either GitHub or Bitbucket. One of these things they will be using that. In order to get familiar with the GitHub or Bitbucket, if you know Git is the protocol, and these protocols has been implemented by this GitHub and Bitbucket. They have implemented that. So what is a Git and how to create, and what are the basic commands, we'll get familiar with that. So whenever somebody says that, no, hey, have you familiar with the Git? So if you are working in any projects, yes, you must have. Otherwise, it is very difficult to collaborate with the multiple teams and managing the version. Sometimes what happens, you release the version 1, the things went bad. What are the features you have developed? It was not behaving properly. You want to go back to the previous version. Those all these things we can do by using the version control system. That is a Git. Then I'm going to discuss about the IDE. So this IDE stands for the Integrated Development Environment. And when you're taking the integrated development environment, typically when you're writing the Java, any program, not only Java, any program, you require one editor, you require a compiler, you require a debugger, and you require a console to see the output. So then when you're interacting with the external sources, you may be interacting with the databases, you may be interacting with the other servers. Everything, if it is scattered, it's very difficult to open so many windows. To avoid that, we will combine all these things, when you're compiler, debuggers, editor, everything, it will come into like a package. So that we call it as a IDE. IDE is a integrated development environment, and the most widely used one is Eclipse and IntelliJ IDE. So then you have something called the NetBeans. Okay, these are the NetBeans. These are the most popularly used IDs. There are a number of IDs are available. So we are going to use with the IntelliJ ID. We are going to use it. So this is about the IDE. Just I'm giving the high level. I'm giving the what are the things we are going to discuss in today's session. I'm explaining about the each and every the jargon whatever I'm using here. Then you have something called the Maven. Okay. I will not say Maven. This is, we call it as a build tools. So these build tools will help us, especially when you're working in a projects. When you're working in a project, core Java alone, you cannot build a project. Or J2EE, if you take that here, if you know Spring alone, you cannot build a project. You require the n number of other libraries is required. We require a number of other libraries. Suppose if you are taking a simple example, I'm going to give it here. Suppose you are writing an application where your application will download the data from the database, and it will write the data into the Excel file, and that Excel file is going to be sent it as an email. So here I'm discussing about the database. I said that your data is in a database. Okay, what are the data you are taking here? This data is in a database, and this data here it is going to store. Data is going to be stored in the form of a rows and columns. This is we can say it as a table. This table has got the rows and columns you will be having here, and you can name something. The table has got the something. This data we have to get it. You have to get this data. You have to get this data into the one Excel file. You need to get it into this data into the one Excel file. You are going to get it here, and whatever the Excel file you are getting. Yeah, go ahead, guys. Somebody has a question, please. Go ahead, please. Okay, I need not to struggle. Like now, already we have a symbols. This library has got the symbols. Okay, here this is a typical database representation. This is my database, and what are the data I have here? This database data. I should get it, and I should get it into the one file. Okay, this is a file. I'm going to get it here, and whatever the data you got it into the file, and this file data we need to send it as an email. Okay, you have to send that as a email. Where I saw that email, yeah, email. This is what we are going to take it. Now here the data from the database you are going to fetch this data to the file system. Okay, we are getting the data from the database data to the file system. From the file system, you are going to send this file as an email attachment. You are going to send it here. Here, if you look at here, this problem, if you are solving in Java, there are a lot of components, other components are involved here. Like now, this is the external resource, you can say it as a database. In order to connect with the database, we require something called the JDBC. Don't worry if you are not getting what is this terminology and all these things. Don't worry. Just I'm explaining that why do you need build tools? Okay. And here we are going to convert this data into the Excel. Excel is again other libraries we have here, Apache POI. So this is another library required to convert your database, to convert your objects to the Excel. We require a Apache POI, and to send an email we require a Java mail. This is another library is required here. So when you're developing the projects, you will use the n number of libraries. You will be using that here. Okay, Java alone you cannot solve all your business problems. So we require the various components, and those components are like whenever you're interacting with that component or that tool, we require libraries. These all libraries we need to manage in your project, and you have to maintain the proper version. You have to maintain here, and at the same time, when you are building the project, you will have the life cycle, build life cycle. First, you are going to compile your code. Once compilation is successful, then you are going to run your test cases. Then you are going to do the package. Then you are going to install that package. These steps commonly we will do every time. So to automate this step, we use the build tools. The build tools are most widely used. Build tools are these days. It's a Maven, and then there is something called the Grader. So this is the two build tools we will be using, and I'll explain both the things, but we will concentrate more on the Maven. So these are the things I'm going to discuss, install in today's session. Why do you need? There's an explanation about that. Anyone has any questions here? Any questions? Okay, if the silence is, I will be taking it as a no questions. Yeah, feel free to ask the questions. Nothing like, no, if it is something is confusing or if you don't understand, yeah, I can discuss once again. No questions. Okay, that sounds good. Fine. So first we'll install the JDK. So we'll install JDK. Installation of the JDK. So if you are looking at the installation of JDK, if we go to the Chrome, yeah, okay, this is a thing, and I'm going to download the JDK download. So the latest version I'm going to download here. I don't have the any JDK. If you look at here, if you open the command prompt, if you type the Java, if I'm typing here Java is not recognized symbol, it is saying that here. If I'm typing here Java C, it is not recognizing symbol. That means Java is not installed in my machine. The last night I have deleted all the uh, my installations so that now I can install the brand new installations. I can do that here. When you're installing that, this is the official site. You can go ahead here. Okay, I'm going to share these links as well. This is a place where you are going to use this. This is a link I'm using here. And once you're given this link, then here you have got the several options. Depends on your operating system. You pick the what version. Like I'm using the Windows. Like somebody is using the Mac, you can download the Mac. If you are using the Linux, you can install the Linux. So most of the times in a work environment, you will either use the Linux or you may use the Mac. Especially Java projects, they would prefer to use the either Linux or Mac. But these days it doesn't matter because most of the things are done by the IDEs, so there is no issues. But your server still will be running in a Linux. That is okay. Now I'm taking the installer. I'm going to take it here. My 64-bit. I'm going to take the installer. I'm going to take it here. So let's take it as a. This is a. I'm downloading here. This is around 159 MB file. Yeah, it's a pretty fast. It is downloading in 22 seconds. Let it happen. Yeah, one advantage is these days you can install the multiple versions of the JDKs you can install. The stable version is a 19 now. So we will see that here. We will receive update under these terms until the latest September 2024. Okay. Till they have a JDK 17 support is 2024. We use in our current project is running in a JDK 11. So we'll start with JDK 19. That's fine. Show in folder. The installation is a very simple in case of the Windows. We need not to struggle anything here. Just you follow any other installation wizard, how you install the same thing here also. It may not take more time. Here I have two users. One is a admin user and another one is a normal user. So what are the installations I'm doing? I will be doing through the admin. Like no. So unwanted installations will not happen automatically to avoid that. So generally, whenever you are using the Windows, we will create a two users. Now I'm going to select it here. Here it is installing the C program files JDK. You can keep it as it is, but there is a one issue I have seen, especially when you are working, when you are doing the Java home configurations. Some of the systems may not understand these spaces, white spaces. So what I will do here is I'll change the directory. I don't want to create in the program files. I will create my own directory. I'm going to create it in the C drive instead of program files in the C drive itself. I'll create my own directory. I'm going to create it here. That name I'm naming it as a Java. Okay, or I can name it as a Java. Yeah, that is fine. Java, I'm going to install here. If you have this confusion, don't worry. You go ahead with the default installation. Or okay, I'll go ahead with the default installation. I will not disturb anything. Let me select the whatever the default it has selected here. So just I'm continuing with the default directory. So then click next. Now it's going to copy the files. It will happen very quickly. It won't take much time. Yeah, now it's done. JDK installation is done. That's it. Now, if I'm going back to this, I don't require this JDK anymore. So unnecessarily, I will be wasting my disk space because now the internet is cheaper. Like there is no point in keeping the softwares in your directory. Yeah. Now here, once I go back and if I open the command prompt, I'm going to open the CMD command prompt. I'm going to open. Now I'm going to issue the command called the Java. You can see here Java version, which is showing that you have installed the JDK 19. You have installed Java is installed, so things are fine. There is no problem. Now here you execute one more command, Java C. If you get the Java C, Java and Java minus version, if you get some options, that means everything is set up. Like JDK installation is proper. There is no issue. The modern operating system automatically add your Java to the Java build path. It will add it. If not, then we have to add explicitly. You have to add the explicitly. How to add that? Just I will show you that here. Suppose if you are using the old version of the operating system, or sometimes if your servers are not recognizing the how to set the Java home, I'll just explain you that how we are going to set the Java home. Here we are going to edit the system environment variables. I'm editing the system environment variables. Here I will be using the this is a place system environment variables. If you take it here, there is a environment variables. Here we have a two environment variables. One is a user, another one is a system variables. This user variables is only for the particular user. Suppose you have a 2-3 users you have in your mission. Like if something has to be available for only particular user, you will set variables here. Now I require the I'm going to delete the previous JDK versions. I'm going to delete. I don't want to keep it anything. This is Hadoop and now using not using Maven home. I'm deleting this here. Please don't delete in your case anything. Now here you have something called the path. Okay, here we are going to create a new variable. I'm going to create it here. Sorry, not path. New variable you are going to create it here. This is a place where you are going to say that here Java underscore home. And where your Java is installed. My Java is installed. You are going to the directory, C drive. There is a program files here Java and JDK 19. You open this here. You copy this path. Okay. In order to copy this path, okay. Sometimes so going to the navigating the directory is difficult. In Windows is a very simple. Windows plus E, which is going to open the My Computer, and where you are going to click on the program files. And here we are going to open the C drive, program files, and Java. And people will have the difficulty in copying this path. It's very simple. You click on this, it will select all entire path. You click on this, it is going to select the path. Otherwise, Control L, which is going to shortcut, which is going to select that path. You copy this path. Okay, two options you have. One is you click on this, the address bar, then the path will be automatically selected here. Our shortcut is Control L for the Windows. You copy this path, you are going to set it as a Java home. So you are telling that at the time of booting your operating system, hey, my Java home is available in this directory. In this directory, it is available. You are going to set the Java home. You are going to set it here. Okay, I set the Java home. Then here in a path variables, you are going to say that here. Already I have said that here the previously. In the path home, in a path variable, in a path variables here you are going to don't delete any of these things, please, because these are the some of the things are required or it will be automatically set at the time of installation. Don't delete anything. Now here when you are taking the Java path, where your executable files are available, we need to specify that here. My executable files are available in here. If you look at here, JDK 19, here we have all these things like Java, Java C, jar. What are the commands is required? All executable files are available in this bin directory. Now I'm going to set that my bin directory is up in the path variable. How do I set that path variable? This is the way you are going to set that here. The variable definitions, you will do that here. Let me take it here. Let me take it here. So whenever you are creating the Java underscore, we created a one variable we created, and we have set the one value. Okay, what is that value? C program files JDK 19. Now in path variable, what we are going to do here, once again, we will not define the Java home. Like no, you can set it this way also. Java home, you can give it as a directly bin. But the problem is tomorrow, if we change the installation directory, instead of this directory, you might have used some other directory. Every time you need to go and make modification, the path, both the places you have to make modification. To avoid that, what we can do here is we can use the percentage Java underscore home.
Sir, we cannot see your screen.
Is it everyone?
No, we can see your screen.
Why don't you reconnect?
Yeah, okay.
See, sometimes internet might be slow, or like no, you might have got stuck. You can reconnect that if there is any issue. Yeah.
I have a question here. Like, why should we add these variables?
Yeah, that's a good question. Why should we add the variables? Is when you are when you are booting your application, so your executable files are created in a suppose you install the program files. Tomorrow I'm installing in a D drive. I move this directory to the D drive. How your operating system knows that this is a place where Java is available, correct? So now here I'm typing the Java. So the directly executable file is available here. Java C executable file is available. So somewhere system knows that somebody has told that like no, hey, this is the places my executable files are available. That we are going to specify by using the Java home and path variables. Is this clear?
Yeah, got it.
So this is a path variable. Here we would be saying here percentage home is like you can see here. If I want to see that where is my Java, percentage Java underscore home, it will tell you the percentage. If you give that here, still I think I should, after setting the path variable, I haven't saved that. Yeah, I have saved that. I think I didn't add new command prompt. Percentage Java underscore home percentage. It is not point that here. I think I have to close that. I have to say, yeah, this is a place. So still it is pointing to the JDK 11. It is pointing here because you take any variable here. Like what other variable you have here, you can take it here. Suppose let me take it as a username. So percentage, we are going to say it as a username. Percentage, if I'm saying here, it is going to tell you that here. Echo username, it is saying that LWL. This is a username of the system who is logged in. That's a LWL. It is saying that here. You can get it here, the usernames under Derby home. Suppose if you want to see this variable, what is the value? You would be using that here, echo the percentage Derby home. Like now, you're okay. This is not recognized. I think I'm DRBY Derby home. It did not recognize that. It has printed the as it is. It is printed here. Yeah. The variables will be typically what are the variables you define here. So that variable, in order to access that here, we'll use the percentage Java home and bin directory. Now I'm going to my path directory. I did the same thing I have done here. So now I'm done with all my environment setup. And there is something called the one new variable you will create it here. This is we call it as a class path. The class path here, we are going to set it as a the same thing. You will set it as a the percentage. Okay, here we are going to set as a Java underscore home. The percentage slash, I'm going to set as a, instead of bin directory, I'll use the lib directory. So this is the three variables. So we need to set that here. So once I have done with that, like now one is the path variable, another one is a class path variable. The class path variable is it will be pointing to the libraries. Just I'm going to say that the class path. The same thing, instead of bin, you will have the lib directory, you will have it here. Is it mandatory to set that? If you're asking me the question, do I need to set this here? Modern operating system, I'm telling that automatically it will add this Java installation to the path. Suppose if it is not recognized, you install the, instead of C drive, you have installed the D drive or some other drive installed, the operating system may not recognize that. Then you have to add the explicitly these paths. You are telling that operating system, whenever you are booting, this is a place my JDK is available. This is the place my executable files are available. This is the place my libraries are available. You are telling to the library, so that, sorry, operating system, so that you can access the executable files anywhere in your from the any directory. You can access your executable files. Like now you just open the command prompt in D drive or E drive. It doesn't matter what are the directory you are in. All executable files can be accessed. Yes. Now I'm going back to this and I'm going to start my CMD command prompt. I'm going to see that here Java minus version. I should be seeing that latest version. Echo percentage Java underscore home percentage, if I'm seeing here, which would be showing that as a still it is pointing to the JDK 11. Somewhere it got the JDK 11. It is getting that here, which is wrong. Might be user environment. I might have said that here. Okay, we'll confirm that here. Environment variables here we don't have anything. Java home. This is supposed to be printed here, and I think it may be required the restart of my machine. Anyhow, I'm not going to restart. Okay, JDK 19 is installed and it is fine. Once I restart that, these variables also it will get reset. That is happening here. Now we are done with the Java installation. Now whether the Java installation is working or not, we want to test that. Okay, when you are testing your application, like now any application, so whenever you are learning the programming, you will get started with the hello world application. Correct? This hello world application is to ensure that whether things are working or not. To simple program, you need to write it here. That example we will write it as a hello world. And here, when you are creating any Java programs, so the extension is a .java. The extension of the file is a .java. And whatever you are going to create a Java program, everything you will write it in a class. We write it in a class. That is a class. You can say it as a, suppose if I'm creating a simple example I'm creating here, that we call it as a hello world Java. I want to create it here, which is going to say that welcome to Java world. So first you will create a file, and this the file name is I have given it as a hello world.java. This is the name of my file, hello world.java. I have given here, and my class name is public class hello world. These are my class name, and then you are going to write it here. What are the code you are going to write it here in the class? This is the beginning of the class. This is the end of the class. You will get a question that here, like now, do I need to every time create a class if I'm writing any application? Yes, you have to do that. There is no other option. Like now, Python, or if you are coming from the C and C++ background, you don't write class and all those things here. In Java, everything you will write it inside the class. Whatever you write, whatever the logic you want to write it, what are the a simple message you want to print it here, you should write a class, and inside the class you are going to write a method. You are going to write it here. The methods which is contains your business logic, or you can say that the group of statements you will have it with a single name. Now our first example, we are getting started with the hello world. Just we are writing the hello world.java, and this is what we are writing here. And then here as a next step, we are going to write a main method. The main method has got its own signature. This should be a public. This is a public method, and it is not going to return any value. Public static means it's a static method where without creating the object, these methods can be accessed. What does it mean? I'll discuss in detail when we are going to the the upcoming sessions. The main method signature is this is what public static void main and string args. This is what we are going to write. And here we are going to open the bracket and close the bracket. Now what happens is here when you are running the applications, sometimes you want to pass the command line arguments. So that command line arguments also we have two types of command line arguments. One is a VM arguments, another one is a program arguments. The program arguments could be some, especially when you are taking here, your application might be running in a multiple environment. What does it mean? You may be running in a production, you may be running in a QA, you may be running in a dev, you may be having some other environments you are having here. Depends on the environment, what I'm passing the command line argument. Based on that, I will make a internal decisions. I'll make it and I will route my logic to a particular environment code. I'm going to do that here. To pass such a argument, we use the command line argument. You'll use it here. To receive that argument, we are taking it as a string array as args. They have taken here. The main method signature is this public static void main. So then you are going to write this string array. This is the args you are going to write it here. Whenever you write any Java program, so the main method signature is that. And what is the logic you want to print it here? Do you want to print the just a simple hello world? You are going to use the system.out.println. So this is a place where you are going to say it as a welcome to Java world. Welcome to Java world. This is what I'm going to print here. Welcome to Java world. This is a message just I'm printing here. Now this is a program which I have written and everything is fine. It looks like to write this program, I'll use the one of the IDE, Notepad or something. I'll use it here. And this program looks like a English, So not looks like, it is English, where you can, as a human, you can read it here. And this program needs to be converted into the Java, your operating system can understand. This is Java is high level language. To convert into this high level language into the mission understandable language, we will use this something called the compilers. We'll use this something called the compiler. This compiler is, we are going to use the command called the Java C. Java C is a Java compiler. Java C stands for the Java compiler. The moment you compile your Java program, it is going to generate a dot class file. This dot class file contains the bytecode instructions which are specific to the JVM. In order to run this dot class files, we required a Java interpreter, that is a Java command. By using the Java command, we will run this Java program. Dot class file, you are going to run that here. First, you will write your Java program. You are going to write it here. Let me explain this here. This is your Java program. Then you are going to compile this here. Then you are going to run this here, run this application. First, you are writing this is a .java program. We are going to use the command called the Java C, which is going to be compiled. The moment you compile that here, this is going to generate a dot class file. It will generate here. It will generate a dot class file. It is going to generate here. The moment I use this here, which is going to generate a dot class file. This dot class file contains the bytecode instructions. In order to run this here, we use the Java command. And this Java command is going to run your application. Finally, what are the logic you have written? What are the logic you have written? So that will be executed here. In our case, it is going to be printing the just simple welcome to Java world. It's going to print it. So when it comes to the Java applications, if you are looking at here, you take your Java application, whatever you have written here, you are going to take it here, and we will have the multiple operating system. Let's take it as a Mac, and here we are going to take the Windows, and here we are going to take the Linux. You have a different operating systems you are having here. My Java application, whatever I have written here, .java file I have written here, I'm going to use the compiler. I will compile this program. So I'm going to compile this program. Just if I do the compile, it will generate the dot class file, and this dot class file can be executed on any machine. I can execute on Windows, I can execute on the Linux, or I can execute on the Mac. Okay, so here ensure that you have installed the JVM. you have installed the JVM, JRE, Java Runtime Environment, which internally contains the JVM, Java Virtual Machine. And here also it is installed the JRE, and which internally have the JVM, which internally will have the JVM. So now I'm going to take it here. I'm going to take this here. Now here, once you compile your Java program, you can run it on any operating system, but provided that you have installed the JRE. You install the JRE. This behavior we call it as a platform independent. You compile once, run on any operating system. How this is possible? This is possible because you are installing the JRE, Java Runtime Environment. This Java Runtime Environment, it is going to load this .class files, and it is going to compile, and it will convert into the underlying operating system instructions. It is going to be converted. Underlying operating system, it is going to be converted here. So Java is a platform independent. Once you compile your program, you can run it on any operating system. This is one of the advantage of the using the Javas, and this is the reason people, the enterprise applications, whenever they are using, they would prefer Java is the first programming. Java is their preferred language. One is like, it has got the strong defensive programming. Another one is a platform independent. There are other n number of features are available. Now we'll see that practically. This is the theoretically we are discussing here. And during the compilation time, generally when you are compiling the C and C++ programs, directly it will generate the executable files. That is the .exe files it will generate. And .exe file or .sh files, if it is generated the .sh file, it is a specific to the Unix. If it is the exe files, that is a specific to the Windows. Okay. So what we are doing here is, the Java it is not going to generate a .exe files. It will generate a intermediate file that we call it as a .class files. These .class files are kind of a executable files in Java, but it's not executable files. And again, these .class files only can be understood by the JVMs. These .class files are only understood by the JVMs, and JVMs will take these .class files. It will compile into the underlying operating system instructions, and finally your program is going to be executed. What these .class files contains is bytecode instructions. Now we'll write a practically one example. We'll do that here. Now I'm going to create a, this is a place I'm creating a one directory I'm creating here. So let's put it as a Java WS, Java workspace. I'm creating the one directory. And here I'm creating the one more directory. This is a, just I'll say that here, hello, or we'll say it as a, okay, what do I say that as a Java CMD examples, command line examples. I'm going to put it here. And this is a place, now I need to create a Java file. In order to create a Java file, we need to open the one notepad, or whatever the favorite IDE you are going to open here. Notepad I'm going to open here. This is a notepad. Okay, to open the run command is very simple. Windows +R, which is going to open the run command, where what do you want the executable file you want to do that here. Just you type it here and enter, which is going to open. Not only notepad, anything. Like, suppose if I want to open the Excel, just I'll say that Excel, which is going to open the Excel, it is going to open here. That's like executable file name. If you know that, you can open that. Now I'm going to open the notepad. I'm going to open here. Notepad or notepad++, what do you want? You just take it here. We are writing a first Java application. Whenever you are writing a first Java application, first I'm going to write a command. This is a command. I'm saying that here, like hello world program. Okay, hello world program. I'm going to write it here. This is just we are writing a, or we can say that program to print hello world. Okay, program to print hello world. Just we are writing here, and here we are writing a class name, public class, and name of the class is hello world. And here we are going to write a main method. We are going to write it here. Let me make it bigger. So here main method signature is a public static void main string. Then we are going to take this here args. We are going to write it here and open the curly braces, close the curly braces, and this. I've seen few people, they will do like this. Yeah, especially my brother, I have seen him. What you'll do, you'll open the curly braces, immediately you'll close it and you enter that. Yeah. And here we are going to write it as a public static void main. So yeah, this is approach. Yeah. but most of the IDEs will do the automatic closing of your code. You will do enter and then he's going to put it here. Like now, whatever you are comfortable, you can go ahead with that. So that you will not miss that closing bracket, especially the C++ developers. Like now, the closing brackets is a very challenging thing. We will immediately close that here. Now here we are going to do here system.out.println. Okay, welcome to Java world. You may get the doubts here. Why should I write the what is system.out.println? Why should I write the public static void main? All the questions I will be answering. Like now in the first class itself, I cannot answer almost all what are the questions you get now. For time being, you can take it as this is a main method signature, and whenever you are printing the output, system is a S is a capital. Okay, system.out.println. Please remember one thing: whenever you are seeing the class names, all the class names will be starts with the uppercase. All the class names starts with the uppercase. Either your class or library class, the class name starts with the uppercase. It is going to start it here. Now I have written here my program. I have written here. Now I need to save this program. When I'm saving this program, okay, I want to save it in a desktop, not D drive. I created the Java workspace, Java command line example. Here, ensure that you are going to give the file name is in. I'm going to give it in a file name in a double quotes. Hello world dot Java, close the double quotes. What are the class name you have given? The same class name with the .java extension. Why I'm giving in a double quotes? You may ask the question here. In Windows, if you don't give the double quotes, suppose if I'm writing here hello world, if I'm saving this file, which is going to save with the .txt extension. I don't want to get the .txt extension. I want to get my own extension. That's the reason I'm saying it in a double quotes. If I'm giving the file name in a double quotes, it is going to take it as extension as a .java. It is going to take it. Now I'm done with that. Now, if you go and look at this here, this is saying that it's a Java file. It is going to tell it as it is a Java file. It's going to tell that here. Now, in order to compile this program, I need to open the command prompt. I need to open here. When you want to open the command prompt, it's so simple. Here you click on the Windows L and just type the CMD. In the directory, it is going to open the command prompt. It's going to open. Here it is going to open the command prompt. Okay, once again I'm repeating. So here I want to open the command prompt. Generally, what you will do, command prompt you will open. You are in the C drive. Again, I have to change it to the D drive. D drive I'm changing here. I'm going to the D drive. CD I'm going to say it as Java workspace. CD I'm going to do this command example. Then dir, I can see that what are the files I have here. There is something called hello world.java. This is the way you will be navigating. Please don't do that. Now, anyhow, you are in this directory. You want to open the command prompt here. Just you type it here, CMD, which is going to open the command prompt in that directory itself. So we need not to navigate like directory by directory. You need not to do that here. Then you are going to compile your program. So this is a Java program we are going to compile. Java C. Java C is a Java compiler. And here we are going to give it as a hello world.java. If there is no compilation error, the program will be successfully compiled. It will generate a .class file. This .class file contains the bytecode instructions. In order to run these .class files, we use the Java interpreter. Use the command called the Java. I'm saying that, hey, Java, you start my Java runtime environment by loading this class. Okay, we don't give the .class or anything here. Now, so far, what are my .class files I created here? It is in hard disk. I'm saying that, hey, you start my Java runtime environment by loading this .class file into the memory. So it will load this .class file into the memory and it will start executing. And what are the logic you have written here? It is going to say that here. Okay, it said that hello world not found. It is saying that here. Okay, that means there's something wrong here. Class not found caused by the class not found exception hello world. Okay, this error we are getting here. What was the reason? We'll see here. Java C. Java. I'm going to take it here. It is saying that .class file is not unable to find that. CD program. delete, right? Java workspace, cd Java. Then I'm going to say it as a Java. I think the previous installations still hanging. Could not find that it is saying that here. Yeah, this error we'll get it here typically when you have a two versions of that. Okay, this issue we can resolve that. That's okay. I think it requires the rebooting of my application. There's a bin directory. I'm going to take it here. Yeah, bin directory I'm taking here the cell. Okay, now I'm going to take it as a Java. I'm going to set it as a Java underscore home. So this is a command prompt. I'm setting this path. I'm setting here. Let's require this. Okay. Then here we are going to set class path. I'm going to set it as a lib directory. Set path equal to, I'm going to set it as a bin directory. Okay, Java, I'm going to do this here. Hello world dot class. Still there is a problem. Something wrong. Hello world, we are going to take it here. Then we compiled our program. Okay, this is compiled with the, this is a version it is compiled. Okay. We don't need to give the any extension. Could not load by the class. It is saying that main class hello world. Public static void main. There is nothing wrong in this. I think my system requires the rebooting. So this is a way you will be executing the command prompt you are going to execute here. Thing is that it's not some reason it is saying that it is unable to find the class not found exception I'm getting here. The class not found exception typically it happens is here. You might have done the multiple installations and the path variables might have not cleaned properly. So once you reboot, the things will take place. No problem. You can try that here. Are you getting the same error if somebody is trying the parallel? Okay, it should work. Fine. Yeah, this is a way like your I don't know. So that's okay, fine. That's you shouldn't be facing this error since I've uninstalled and I've installed and I've set the program file, the environment variables. I changed all these things. It might have getting confusion. So once I reboot this mission, the things will be fine. Okay, this is the first installation, and you're writing the first hello world example you're writing here. But here the problem is here to write your program, you are taking the one editor. To compile your program, you are taking the command prompt you are taking here, and to run that again, you are switching back to the command prompt and editor. This is the way you are doing here. But practically, when you enter into the workplace, you will not do switching between the multiple screens and switching between the multiple tabs. For that, we use something called the IDE. The IDE here we are going to use the IDEs are like as I discussed here. We have the Eclipse, IntelliJ IDE, NetBeans, and we are going to use the IDE is IntelliJ IDE. I'm going to use it here. Okay. IntelliJ IDE. So this is the IDE. If you look at here you have two IDEs we are having here. One is the Like let's go and download this here. When you're taking here unlimited ultimate and community edition, go with the community edition. We don't require the unlimited like ultimate. Ultimate is only 30 days trial and then later we have to pay that. Okay, now I'm going to download this here. This is around 600 MB file. Probably it won't take more time. So within 2 minutes, it's going to be downloaded here. Okay, I don't want to restart my system now. If I restart again, I have to connect back the session. That's the reason I didn't restart. Like now, tomorrow I'll show you that here. What was the like now? So yeah, what was the issue? The issue is with the paths, nothing else. Let it happen. This download. Is it done now? Any questions so far? Anyone has any questions? You guys are with me, by the way?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Let it happen. And meanwhile, I'll download the one more thing is Git Bash. I'm going to download Git Bash. So you can download the Git Bash download. Git Bash download. I'm going to download here. Git Bash download is like now. I'm going to choose the Windows. I want to download the 64-bit Windows setup. I'm downloading. This is another software which is required for us to work with the Git. This is the one thing is required. So just I'm selecting the Git 64-bit Windows version. I'm selecting. So depends on your operating system. You can choose that what you want. Then one more Maven. I said Maven. We are going to use it here. There is something called the Maven. Let me give this links as well. Let me give the links so that. Where is this? Okay, this is downloading the GitHub, and then one more is Maven. Maven download. Maven download. There is nothing much. Just we need to download the one rar file and we have to extract that here. Now installation of the Maven. If we are going to the Maven, we need to download the latest version of the Maven. We need to download. This is you can download this is a version we need to download here. Where is that download? Yeah, download. And here we are going to choose the one of these things. Binary, like if you are using the Windows, you are going to select the zip file. You are going to select it. This is a zip file. We are going to select it here. Now let me take it here. Let me put it into the. This is another one. So we are selecting the Maven. Okay. So we'll see that here how we are going to. The IntelliJ IDE is installation also. It's very simple. There is nothing. You just follow the installation wizard. We follow that. It may take the probably 2-3 minutes. It may take that here. Okay, I'm going to install as administrator. Then click on next, and it is going to take the 2.4 GB of your RAM, your hard disk space. It is going to take it here. I'm okay with that. We don't have other options. And here, IntelliJ Community Edition, create a desktop shortcut if you want to create it here, and you add to the path. Whenever you are adding to the path, directly you can open that here. Just I'm adding the add to path. We are going to say that here, and you add the desktop shortcut. You add that. We are going to say that here. Associate files, you can say that .java, or you can ignore default also. I'm selecting these are the things I'm selecting here. Now then click on next and click next. So this is going to be installed in your directory. It is going to be installed here. Some directory it is going to be installed. I didn't see that way. What is the directory? Yeah, it is installing in a program file something. Okay, I'll continue till 8:15. So we'll wind up the 8:15, another 12 minutes. So that we'll do the basic installation setup of the all the required tools, so that we will not spend any more on the installation.
So can we use the Eclipse instead of this one?
You can. But, yeah, Eclipse is my favorite ID, but the current organization is using the IntelliJ. Like I don't have other option. I have to move to the. So whatever ID you are comfortable, you can go ahead with that. Don't worry about this. Like so, learning one more ID is also, if it's okay, good. Like, so, that's your personal preference. There are people who loves the NetBeans. Yeah. Okay. Let it happen. Okay. So I want to manually reboot this system. I don't want to do things because it is added in a path variables. It is asking to reboot the system. I don't want to do that. Just I'm saying that later. Okay. Next one is a Maven downloads. Like now I'm going to the Maven, the download Apache Maven. It's a simple thing. Just you are going to click on the Maven. This is a zip file. We are going to create it here. Download that here. This is a very simple file. It's close to 8.4 MB, not close to, it is 8.4 MB. Now what you will do here is once it's downloaded the Maven, okay, don't think that like no, I'm downloading so many things and I'm installing so many things. Yeah, like no, all these things are required. Like no, when you're learning the advanced concepts from the day one, we will start with the what industry follows the standards, we will follow that. That's one reason. Like otherwise, I would have created a simple hello world application by using IDE, but that's not going to help you. So what are the projects you are going to work? The project is going to use the build tool, either Maven or Gradle. They are going to use it here. Yeah. Now this has been downloaded. Let me take it here. Yeah, the download has been completed. It has done its download. Like this is a file you just copy into the one of the directories. Suppose if I'm going to the software, I'm pasting into this directory. You extract that here. Show more and extract here. I'm going to say that as extract here, which is going to get the Maven 3.8. Now what you will do here is you're going to, if you open the command prompt and CMD, if you run that here, MVN version, when I say that here, it will say that MVN is not recognized symbol. So somebody is asked, why do you need to set it in environment variables? Okay, now here we are going to set it here. This is what we are going to copy and edit the environment variables, edit system environment variables, where you are going to set it as a edit environment variables. Here we are going to set it, create one new variable, Maven underscore home. This is a path I'm going to give it here. And in your okay, in your path variables, you are going to add the new percentage Maven underscore home %/bin. Okay, I think this slash, the slash bin, we are going to add it here. So that it is saying that here, where my Maven executable files are available, we are going to tell that here. Okay, our class path. Something I made a mistake with the class path bin. This is the list bin, this slash. Could be this is a reason, I think. Now I'm going to select it here, click OK, click OK, click OK. Now I did all these things I did here. Now I'm going to open the command prompt once again. CMD if I'm opening here. MVN hyphen version when I'm typing here, I should get the it is saying that Maven version is not set up. Sorry, Java home is not found. It is saying that here. Command prompt. If I'm opening here, this is behaving really. MEN hyphen version. I should see that Java home is not set properly. It is saying that here. This is bad. Edit environment variables. Java home itself, it is not found. It is saying that here. Okay, it requires the rebooting of my machine. There is no other option. Let me set that Java home for this user, Java underscore home. Here I'm going to set it here. Program files JDK. So this is saying that Java home is not set properly. So I set for the user also. I set that here. Let me close all the command prompts and everything, whatever you open. Windows R CMD MEN hyphen version. So Java home is not set properly here. Okay, that is fine. Java underscore home. I'm going to set it here for this command prompt. I'm saying here MEN hyphen version. If I'm selecting here, you will see that Maven version. What is the Maven version? You will be here. Here explicitly I'm setting for the Java path for this terminal. That's the reason it works. MEN hyphen version. When I'm setting here, it is going to tell that what is your Maven version. This is a 3.8.6. So we are telling that this is a place my Maven is installed. We are going to set. Now we are done with that as well. And then one more, we have an installer. That is the installer is downloads. I'm going to take it here. Git bash. We are going to install here. You install the git bash. Yeah, this is also you just follow the installation wizard. Nothing to do. Like there is no special configuration. Just you follow the. Would you like to exist? Do you want to reinstall? Yeah. So already it was existing. Don't change any of these options. You click next. Click next. You just follow the installation wizard. Click next and click next, 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 next. Okay, install. So this is a Git. You follow the installation wizard. There is nothing to change. Yeah, there is nothing to change that. The installation will happen now. Okay. This is also done here. Now, the Git installation, when you take the Git installation, how to learn about that, that's what the tools they have given here. There is something called the Git bash. Okay, there is something called the Git command prompt and Git bash. Okay, when you're taking here Git GUI, so this is to see your Git commands in the GUI, and there is something called the Git bash. If I'm opening the Git bash, it is going to open the command prompt like this. What are the commands? Like now, if you are a Linux users, they would prefer to use this. I'm going to the D drive, CD D drive. I'm going here, CD Java examples and Java workspace. CD I'm going to, and here we are going to see that here Java hyphen version. I'm going to check this here. MEN hyphen version. I'm going to check this here. So it is working fine. And here we are going to take the CD. I'm going to take it here. Hello world command line examples. Java. I'm going to say it as a hello world. Hello world. I'm going to say that here. Still there is the problem persists here also. No worries. So either you can use the command prompt, like if you are a Linux user, same thing, Linux commands, how it executes, you want to execute in your machine, you would use the git command, git bash, you are going to use it here. Okay, we will get details about that here. Now, how do you create a new project by using the IDE? We'll see that. With that, we'll conclude the session. I'm going to take the IntelliJ IDE. Okay, community edition. You are going to open this here. And whenever you are going to do your projects, better you create a one directory in your what other directory you want. You create I'm going to create it here, one directory. I'm going to create it here. New folder. I'm going to create it here. I'll name it as a Git. I'll name it as a Git. All my projects I'm going to create it in this Git directory. I'm going to create all my projects. I'm going to create it in Git directory. I'm creating here. Now I'm creating a new project. I'm going to create a new project, and this project I'm going to create it as a Maven project. So the first project itself will create it as a Maven project. We will say it as a this project is project name is I'm going to say it as a core Java, or we can say that here Java underscore, like no, this is a December underscore. I'm going to say that as a, yeah, we can, yeah, simple name you'll give it here, core underscore BC underscore batch. Like, this is the name of my project. I'm going to give it here. It's a really bad name. Like now the Maven project, I'm going to select it here. When you're creating the Maven project, so let me write it here, core Java. I'm not happy with that name. Okay, Git, here we are going to create a core Java. This is a Maven project, and I'm using the JDK 19 I'm using here. Automatically it has selected here. Now here we are going to select group ID. Group IDs will be typically the reverse of your domain name. Suppose if you are working for the Infosys, com.infosys, like if you are working for the some XYZ company, .io, io dot the brand name. Suppose if I'm working for the career IT, is my brand name. Com is a common or commercial. Org is organization. I will, like no, you have a commonly used domain names are like no org or com. Like no, you will have the IO. Okay, there are different names you are having here. Always your reverse of your domain name, and the artifact ID is my project name is. I'm going to take it as my project name is a core Java. So this is a new project we create that we are going to say that here. This project is going to be created. Okay, this is a project which is created in Git. This is the directory it is created here, Git core Java. Inside the Git, it's created the one new project. This is a core Java. It's created here. Okay. Now it is asking the, hey, do you want to add? You want to track this into for the Git? I'm saying that timing no. So later we'll learn about the how we are going to do this here. Now when I created the first project, there is something called the SRC, and there is something the form.xml file. This is a form.xml file. Like no, it will tell that what is the group ID, what is your artifact ID, what is the version, and what is the Maven compiler version. Like no, what is the JDK version you are setting up. These all these things will come here. Now here you have something called the SRC main. What are the Java code you are going to write it here? You will be writing in SRC main Java. You are going to write it here. Now right click on that file. You are going to create a new. Here still it is updating that. Okay, that's the reason we haven't got the like you know creating the new class options. Okay, creating the project once again. I'm explaining that here. Creating new project. It's very simple. You give the name of the file. Okay, what name of the project? And here, if you want to write here it's selected the Maven. And what is your group ID? Group ID is always it is the reverse of your domain name, and artifact ID is nothing but your project name or module name. Okay, then you click create. The moment you create that, there is something called the form. There is something called the form.xml, project object model. Form stands for the project object model. What are the configurations for this project? What are the configurations you have done that? Whether like now, what is the JDK version you are going to use it here? What is the plugins you are using here? What are the external libraries you are using here? Everything you are going to write it in form.xml file. You are going to specify in form.xml file. You are specifying here. And the Maven project, whenever you take that here, Maven projects, when you take that here, this is a typical the Maven project directory structure. Like now, here you will have the project name, then you will have the SRC. Here you have the SRC folder. Inside the like now, here you will have the parallel to that here form.xml. And inside the SRC you have a main and Java and SRC test Java. And then you will have the SRC main resources and SRC test resources. Okay, resources. This is the standard directory it will follow any of your Maven project. The SRC, the main Java, test Java, main resources, and test resources. And then there is something called the pom.xml file. Need not to by heart these things. Whenever you create any Maven project, it will have that standard directory such as SRC main Java. This is the place where you are going to write your source code. Suppose if I'm creating my class, first I will create a package. Okay, I'm going to create a new package. I'm going to create it here. My package name is com. The career IT dot. I'm going to say it as a core Java. Okay, dot day one. I'm creating the com is a common or commercial. Career IT is my brand name. My project name is a core Java. My module name is a day one. I created this is what. And then now I'm going to create a new Java class. I'm going to create it here. This is Java class name is hello world. Okay, hello world is my Java class name. I'm going to create it here. And here we are going to do this here main method. I'm going to write it here. Public static void main method. So SOP system.sout system.out.println. Just will be saying it as a welcome to Java world. Okay. This is what just you are written here. In order to run this program, just you are going to make it run on our old example. They should run this, and the output is going to show it on the console. Like when it is going to compile, and it's printing the output as on the console. It is printing. Hello world. It is printing. So now tomorrow you want to write one more example here. Like now hello world anyhow we have written here. Now I want to do a multiplication of the table. I want to print it here. So just I will be taking here multiplication of the table. So these are my class name. Whenever you are creating the class names, is follows these conventions. Is a starting letter will be capital letter. If you are followed by any other words, those things also will be in the capital letters. You are going to take it here. I will tell you that tomorrow how to add to the Git and how to push the code. And when you are writing the main method, shortcut is main. Enter that which is going to generate here. Whenever you want to, suppose if I'm taking I want to print a multiplication of the table. Suppose if I'm taking the number 19, I'm going to take it here. In Java latest versions, you need not to declare the variable data type. You can declare the number equal to 19. I'm just 2 minutes, guys. I'll wind up the session. Sorry, already it's late. For in I equal to, I want to run that here. I less than or equal to 10 times. I want to run it here. I plus plus, and where you want to print the. I want to print the output of this program is the first one is a number plus. I'm going to print the star plus I plus. Okay, then here we are going to equal to plus. I'm going to do this number into I. This is nothing but just we are printing the multiplication of the table. We are going to print it here. Don't use the var initially. Later, once you get familiar with that, what is the var and all this, we can use it here. I'm taking a number 19 and I want to print the 19 table. I want to print it here. Just I'm writing a simple logic we are writing here. What is this for loop and all this things I'll discuss in classes. So I'm going to run this here, run Java application, which would be printing me what are the output you have printed here. Yeah, 19 table, it's going to be printed here. So this is the way. Suppose if I'm making any compilation error, immediately it is getting highlighted. Hey boss, you have made a compilation error. Please correct it now. Now, if we take help this here, it is saying that you insert this is what it is giving the help. The IDE, when you are using the advantages, compilers, debuggers, everything you will get it in one place. Okay. How to debug these applications, how to use the debuggers, and how to use the this is a Maven project we created. And you get started with the Maven project only. Don't create any core Java projects. That is really nonsense practice. So because you are going to work with the either Maven or build projects or the Gradle projects, you are going to work with that. So to get familiar with that, even though you don't understand what everything day one, you will get familiar with that. And once you get familiar, you will go and explore that, how to add the dependencies. And like now, or when I'm explaining in the session, you will get easily. And once you enter into the workplace, you will feel more comfortable. That's the only intention I started with the Maven project. So I'm going to stop. If you have any questions, I'll take your questions 2 minutes. Otherwise, I'm done for the session. Today's session. We'll meet tomorrow same time. Any questions?
So, are we going to get the recordings of this class, sir?
Yes. You'll get everyday recordings will be shared with you. Yeah. Bharat, you will get Bharat.
Yeah. Do we need any specific programming skills before starting these sessions, Java full
No,
stack
it
development?
doesn't. But like no, it is like no, you are starting it as a clean slate, like no, as a first programming language, you are choosing it as a Java.
Okay, thank
There
you.
is no prerequisites. If you have like no, you will like you can understand the much quicker. But we are starting from the basics. Like now today only we have discussed the how to do the setup of the your Java environment. Tomorrow I will be explaining that what is this fundamentals. Like now here I declare the some variables and I have written some loop, how this works and all these things will get familiar. Like now you will be discussing each and every token I will be discussing about.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys. I think I have 1 more minute. So then we can close this. No questions? Thank you.